you doing, YouTube? It's Bounty Hunter D. And today I have a very special guest in my resident. I've known this guy for so many years. He's a bounty hunter and he's also a part of the bail bondsman system. So I know a lot of you guys had questions about, hey, how does it work? And what I tried to do is on my phone here is put your questions here so I can ask him, okay? So without further ado, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. You guys show him some love. This is my boy, bail bondsman, and a partner, bounty hunter partner. Go ahead.
There's two different types of bail, D. There's a cash bond, then there's a bail bond. The way the cash bond works is where you or someone you know puts up the full bail amount. So if your bail's $50,000, they put up, or you put up $50,000 cash at a jail, court, wherever the person is in custody at. And once your case is closed, you get the $50,000 back. Now, where a bail bond comes into play is where you hire a bail agent. And we'll go over what a bail agent is in just a minute, okay? But a bail agent basically is appointed by a surety, and they put up the $50,000 for you. However, they charge the California state rate of 10%, which is what the premium is called. You know, so the bill's $50,000, you pay 10% of that, so it'd be $5,000 you'd have to pay. Right? So
do they get that? Okay, now these are rhetorical questions. Plus, hold on, let's stop. What's your name? Tell everybody your name, man. You just jump right into the business, man. Let's go.
I got a little too excited. My name is Ivan. All right, so I've been doing bail for a while. You know, just doing my thing here in California. Now, just keep in mind, this is California California bail system only. This is not for legal advice or anything like that. So just keep that in mind, guys.
No legal advice. Right, we're not attorneys or anything like that.
All righty.
Okay. So basically, the questions that I'm going to ask you are rhetorical. Obviously, I know these questions or these answers, right? I know the questions too. I got them right here for you.
All right, let's do it.
I'm gonna try to see if he can answer all of these questions. Okay, so you did explain the difference between a cash bond, right?
Right.
And a bail bond.
Correct.
Okay, so that's the difference between the two. All right. So let me get into my questions here. Let me see. Let me give you a juicy one. I get a lot of people asking how to become a bail bondsman. Bounty Hunter D, how can I become a bail bondsman?
Alrighty, so the way you become a bail bondsman in the state of California, you have to take a 20-hour course, a bail pre-licensing course. Okay, that's step one. Step two, you have to take a test with the California Department of Insurance. They're the ones that issue a bail license. However, you cannot get a bail license in the state of California unless you are appointed by a surety company.
Explain surety company.
A surety company is another word for insurance or a casualty company. They're the ones that put up the money. So a bail agent acts on behalf of the surety or the casualty company. So basically they give you the credibility to figure out if it's going to be a good bond or not. So
so no one can just go ahead and open up a bail bonds company without having the backing of a surety.
Exactly. That is correct.
So that's basically another way of saying insurance. You gotta have insurance.
Correct.
Need it be what if I can do this? Can I open up a bail company and I got $2 million and I want to open up a bail company? Can I do it that way too, or do I have to go specifically through a surety company?
Yeah, you have to go through a surety, unfortunately.
There you go. All right. You're doing good, man.
Unless you start your own surety, but then you need a lot of money for that.
Okay. So which you have. You have a lot of money. You got tons of dough, dog. Okay, check this out. Another question people ask me is, Bounty Hunter D, what is the process of being bailed out of jail?
Okay, so there's different ways, right? So a bail bondsman cannot go out there and solicit the business. They have to be approached by either a family member or the person in custody. So that's first, right?
Okay.
So either if you have a bail bonds and you're advertising inside of a jail, then while the person's being in intake or receiving, then they have options to call bail companies, right? So that way they say, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you call so and so, right? A lot of things you want to take into consideration when bailing someone out is you want to find out, if they've been arrested for the same thing, or if they have like a steady address where they're not gonna be a pain in the butt to find if you have to go out and look for them.
Okay.
So you have to ask a lot of questions like that. So that's the first thing. If you find out it is a good bond, then a lot of bail companies like to have people co-sign for them first. So you would speak to the person in custody and you would want to say something like, hey, you got to give me someone to call because you are going to put up thousands of dollars for that person depending on what they did.
Right.
So you need to hold someone accountable, because that person can't sign from jail. Now, in some instances, you can have that person sign in jail, but for most time, you need someone else to co-sign and guarantee that this person is going to come and check in, go to court, and do their payments.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And that co-signer is what we use a lot when we go out on the hunt. Yeah, we look for that co-signer because they got their money up on the line. So those guys 9 times out of 10 will give the guy up because they don't want to lose their dough. Is that right?
Right, correct. Okay. So for those of you that don't understand what a co-signer, or in other words, indemnitor, means in the bail system, let's just say you're financing a car, right? And you don't have that good of credit, so you need someone to co-sign for you. Just like the defendant's credibility in jail ain't good enough.
Right.
So we need a co-signer. So it works in that same aspect. So we hold that person responsible for the payments and the full bail amount if we can't find you and you go out and skip court and whatnot. So
Right. Here we go. You're doing great, by the way.
Thank you.
You're not camera shy. I thought you were going to be camera shy.
Nah, I'm good.
But we boys, so it's cool, right? This is in the house, man. We chilling. Okay, here's another question for you. All right, this one, I just picked up this guy, and I mentioned this in one of my apprehensions. Explain summary judgment.
Okay. So summary judgment works when the time's up of you looking for that person, right?
Okay.
So if the person's scheduled to go to court, let's just say May 5th, right? It already passed. We're in July now. And then you get a forfeiture letter from like that county courthouse, and they say, hey, this person forfeit on their bond. So the way that works is that, the bail company has to hire bounty hunters in order to get their person. And they have 180 days to find that person before summary judgment.
Right.
There is other ways you could file motions and stuff like that, but I won't get into that,
To extend the summary judgment, go in front of the judge.
But the way it works, summary judgment just means that time's up. If the 180 days are passed and you didn't find your guy, then the money that the bail company put up for that defendant gets taken away from that bail company and the surety. So
right, and they don't want to be on the hook for that money.
They don't want to be on the hook for that.
They don't want to be
Nobody
on the hook for
does.
The money. No. Okay, next question. Bounty Hunter D. Why do I have to keep saying Bounty Hunter D after every? Because it's like that. Okay. Dude, you just love your name. You love your name, right? No. Here. When will a defendant become a fugitive? Like, what time would that defendant be a fugitive?
As soon as the bail bonds company gets a forfeiture letter, that person's a fugitive. Now people misinterpret what a bounty hunter does. We don't arrest on warrants. We arrest on violating a civil contract. They do have an active warrant with the sheriff's department, police department, or whichever county that is. The judge will issue it. However, a bounty hunter's job is to recuperate that bail bonds company's money, because if you're on the hook for $50,000, they hire us to get the $50,000 back.
That's right.
So they could exonerate the bond. Right.
There you go. Okay, so next question. Explain the paperwork needed for us, like when we go out. Explain that paperwork needed to make the arrest. In this instance here, check this out. Let's say I arrest someone, right? And then the po-pos show up, right?
Right.
And they say, hey, you got this guy in custody. Do you have any paperwork on this guy?
Right.
And if I say, paperwork? What paperwork? I don't need any paperwork. The guy's out. He jumped his bail. He's a fugitive. I'm just going to pick him up, Mr. Popo. I don't need any paperwork. What can happen? And first, explain the paperwork needed to make the arrest. And if I didn't have the paperwork, what will happen to me?
So it never hurts to have anything extra that you don't need, right? But the minimum that you need is you need an affidavit of surrender. Okay, so basically what bail company contracted you to apprehend this fugitive. Mm-hmm. You have to have like the bond number, the bail bond number. Mm-hmm. You have to have defendant's name, maybe like a basic application of where he lives and the co-signer, and maybe a copy of the bond just to be safe.
Just to cover
just to cover you. But it doesn't hurt to have extra paperwork, everybody. So, you do what you got to do, all right? But just make sure you have the proper paperwork, because if you don't, then you're going to have to justify a kidnapping. So,
which is
right.
That's going to be hard to do.
Right.
You could actually, this has never happened to me, but because we always have our paperwork when we go out, but you could get the bondsman involved in that conversation with the popo. That could help, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
They have to justify X, Y, and Z, so that could help, but I don't recommend you going out there arresting people without the proper paperwork.
Correct.
Speaking of paperwork, did you bring anything so I could show?
Yes, I did.
See, I'm throwing them curveballs. I'm throwing you curveballs.
So,
what did you bring?
This is a bail bond. Okay, so every bail bond has a different amount. You know, every surety company is different. Each number is unique to the bail number, so it goes to that defendant. And these are basically checks that you give to the court, to the jail, to the police station. And basically what it says right here is that you're stating that this person is going to show up to court, right? And so basically we give you a loan for whatever the bail amount is, the full 100% of the bond, right? So we're putting up this money to get you out, and we're promising that you're going to show up to court. And if you don't show up, then there's separate paperwork that you sign, legal documents that states that we could surrender you and put you back in custody. So if you guys have trouble understanding that, I'll put it to you this way. Mm-hmm. When a person finances a car, they do paperwork, correct?
Yep.
So they're promising to make the payments. If they miss 3 payments, what happens?
Repo!
Exactly. So it's the same thing with bail, guys. So if you guys violate that contract, let's just say the defendant's the car, and they take you back to the impound lot. So in this case, you don't go to court, they put you back in jail.
Right.
So that's the way it works, just to simplify things for people that don't understand.
That's cool. That's cool. So you're the one who gets repoed. Your body gets repoed back to the jail.
Right.
What else do you have there? What is that?
This is a face sheet. It's the same thing. It's
okay.
like a, just to secure it a little bit more, stating that, you know, the surety company and the bail company promises that the defendant's going to appear in court on the assigned date that they give you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you cannot miss it. You cannot be late. Nothing. We did our part, you do yours. If
Absolutely.
you don't do it, then, you know, we got to cover our end. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so here's another question. I've got them in my phone. Here, check this out. But I want to ask you this first. How do bail bondsmen work with fugitive recovery agents?
Okay.
How do you contact us, and why do you need us? Why do you need us?
Okay. So a lot of bail bonds owners normally don't like to go out and get these guys on their own. You know, it takes a certain type of person to go out and bounty hunt. People get into bail in the bail bonds industry to make money, right? They don't go out there to put their lives on the line. However, there's adrenaline junkies like him and I that get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way it works is that the bail bonds companies hires and contracts these people to go out and find them. And how do they find them? I mean, it just depends. A lot of people just go from bail bonds to bail bonds mm-hmm. and says, hey, if you ever need anybody, let me know. Mm-hmm. Some bail companies that are bigger, they have like their own in-house guys, and you know they're contracted just for that company.
Right.
So I mean it can vary, you know. So.
Okay. Who decides how much bail should be?
Okay, so in California, every county's different, right?
Okay.
So some counties have a higher bail schedule depending on the crime. However, the only thing that every county does have in common is that they have the bail set depending on the severity of the crime.
Okay.
Right, so a lot of things that also play along with that. It just depends if the person's been arrested for the same thing before, mm-hmm. and maybe they might raise the bail up a little. Mm-hmm. So that plays an aspect to it. But just to answer your question, every county puts their own bail schedule depending on the severity of the crime, which is called the penal amount.
There you go.
Okay.
My man know his stuff. All right, check this out.
I try.
No, you're great. You're great. That's why we work together. All right, who decides when a person should be eligible for bail?
Okay. So that goes for the same thing that I was just explaining before.
Yeah, it's kind of the same question.
Right. So, but there's a couple different things so people understand. So if they're looking to see how it works. Now, if you're already on probation or you're on parole, chances are that your parole officer or probation officer are going to put a hold on you. Even though whatever you got arrested for, it might have a bail amount, but if there's a hold, you're not bailable, unfortunately. So that's one way that you're not eligible for bail. And another way could be like, if a surveillance camera caught you,
there you go,
doing the crime red-handed.
Red-handed.
Why would they bail out someone who's most likely going to run? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that has something to do with it too.
Exactly. All right. I don't know any other questions to ask you. How's everything else going with you? How's business?
It's going good.
I want to know if you guys want to see Mr. Ivan go out on a hunt with me. See us working, because this is my boy, and y'all know I'm not that. I can't run that fast, but he can run fast. He can run
track star, baby.
So you might see Ivan out on some hunts with me. You guys let me know if you want to see him out on some hunts with me. But I don't really have any other questions other than, hey, you know what? You know, who cut your hair? Because your hair looks good. You got your hair
go
cut?
to a barbershop in Corona, everyone. So if you live in the Riverside County area, barbershop's the way to go, all right?
Hey, man, how you going to plug on my channel, man? He ain't paying me no money. Hold on, we going to take that out.
Well, we got to call him up real quick.
Yeah. See if he could drop some money so we can get some T-shirts. Oh, that's right. We got some T-shirts coming. Bounty Hunter D stuff. Paraphernalia. Bounty Hunter D merch. That sounds better.
There you go, perfect. Now it sounds like I'm gonna need to bail you out.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Paraphernalia, Bounty Hunter D. So listen, anything else you want to let my guys know? Anything that I might have forgotten?
I think we pretty much covered it all, D.
I think we did. I think we did. Well, listen, you guys, I appreciate you watching. This is Bounty Hunter D and my boy Ivan. You might see him out on a hunt with me. Make sure you tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for apprehensions. And then this kind of stuff. I like to throw this kind of stuff in. I like to educate people.
Right.
Not just show them hunts.
Right.
Just educate them. All right? Follow me on Instagram, Bounty Hunter D. And be looking out for that Bounty Hunter D merch. You got a little symbol? Sign? You don't do that?
Nah, I'm good.
You don't have nothing?
I'm good.
All them tattoos? You don't have nothing?
I don't got nothing.
You don't
Man.
have, okay.
I'm boring like that guy. Sorry, but
You're not bored, dog.
it's been nice doing this video.
Yeah.
So everyone just, follow Bounty Hunter D. How is it?
It's this right here.
This?
You go like that.
That.
You do it again, and then you just stack up that love. You hit it
All right,
twice. Boom, boom.
There
That's
you go,
it.
guys.
We out. That's
Take
good.
care.
All right. Thanks for watching.